Now let's talk about attribute joins. Attribute joins connect two attribute tables using a common or unique identifier that's common across both tables. This creates a temporary relationship, but you can make the resulting larger table permanent in ArcGIS by exporting your data after the join. So what are these keys I'm talking about? Well, there's actually two kinds. There's a primary key, a unique identifier column where each row has a unique value with no repeating values that's found in both tables you want to join together, or a composite key. Let's talk about a primary key first. Here we have two data sets. Our student basic data set, where we have student IDs, numbers, names, the number of credits those students have taken, the tuition balance that they owe, and whether they're enrolled this term or not. We also have our grades data set, where we just have student IDs, no names, but the grades for Geography 481, Psych 101, and Bio 101. What here is the primary key between the two data sets? That's right, it's the student ID, right? These are unique to each student. There's no repeating ones. And it allows us to join the student basic with our grades. Here, the primary key is our land use code. This allows us to join really basic information in our first table with more interesting information in our second table. Now we have a larger table. Now, a composite key is similar to a primary key, but this is where there isn't just one unique field, but a combo of fields that create a unique field. For instance, when you call your doctor's office or pharmacy to refill a prescription, they often ask you for your name and date of birth. That's because other people in their database might have the same name and other people might have the same date of birth, but it's unlikely that there are two people who have the same name and the same date of birth. One great example is really close to here. Springfield, just on the other side of I-5 from Eugene, is a pretty common name for a town in the United States. According to Wikipedia, there's 25 states with towns named Springfield. But we know that when we combine Springfield City with the state name of Oregon, that's a unique town. There's only one Springfield, Oregon. In ArcGIS, to make this a real join field, you need to actually create a new field, edit your data, and concatenate the two fields together to make a primary key. Since that's annoying and complicated, it's easier if you just have a primary key instead of a composite key in ArcGIS. So don't get too hung up on this. The important thing is that the key must be in both the original data set and the joint data set to combine them. Remember when we talked about the different types of relationships that you can have in a database? Attribute join relationships are very much a part of that. Attribute joins can have a one-to-one or a many-to-one relationship. Relational databases can even have a many-to-many relationship like we talked about earlier, all of the university professors and all of the university students. But GIS applications rarely allow much beyond one-to-one. This is because the spatial relationship representation would be problematic when features, real points, lines, and polygons, will require more than one representation.